Vega squadrons turn to ban. Evil geniuses turn to ban. Vega squadrons turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Evil geniuses turn to pick.
PPD would like to face Team Secret in the finals.
I don't know. I don't know.
They're on different sides of the bracket.
Yeah,
the story...
That technically
In
could happen.
theory.
Secret has to be Alliance, which we say that's a close match, and they have to beat Team Liquid after that, which...
Also a close match. Like, both very winnable
Liquid
games.
looks really strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a difficult match.
Yeah, difficult match.
Secret, to me, have like the mental edge over these teams they're versing, though, and that's why Liquid's never had that like big win out of the tournament. They did win the defense. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's
Different
me.
setting.
This is different. Like playing in front of huge live audiences, crowd cheering, and I think there's a lot more pressure. Just the playing field's tougher. So I think all in all, it is a much kind of bigger stage for a team like Liquid.
At the same time, they're all very experienced players. But yeah, we are here for EG versus Vega. We'll see if PPD gets his wish. He first has to make it to the finals. First has to overcome Vega Squadron, and we are already in the draft. Lone Druid, this time on the side of Evil Geniuses.
Ooh, Earth Spirit pick time.
You talked about global. It's Zeus NP from Vega. I like that they're going for the Zeus for no one. It's kind of a transition away from the Invoker, and I think this is where he's had the most success this tournament.
Yeah, and Prophet is, I think, somewhat an improvement, like we mentioned, because you're able to actually participate more in your team instead of just like Lone Druid, you stay in your lane and hope for the best, and you just keep farming. Prophet is much more aggressive.
And I like these two picks because EG, we talked about how they kind of generally like to go more towards the late game and have to play slower pace. These are two heroes that can also go pretty well into the late game.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and the other thing the Prophet will do, it might also discourage, like, you know, what they did in the last game. They tried like some dual lanes, because if you have Prophet off lane, you might think like this might not work because there's a TP coming in. We might actually get punished if
and
we
Prophet
try to
can lane very well against dual lanes. Like you just put the treants on the support. And you should be able to do pretty well in that.
You can actually apply a lot of pressure. So EG are going to go back for one of their staple supports in this tournament, the Earth Spirit of Fear. So,
Since
GG.
well, since Vega left it in, I'm wondering. I mean, it's an expected pick, right?
I think.
Fairly.
Well, I
So
mean,
they have something against it.
look at the heroes that they ban, right? Like those heroes are very problematic if you're not going to be picking them. I felt like they just picked their poison. And Earth Spirit, they felt like, okay,
there's
well,
too many heroes.
It's not a hero that you. It's not like it's kind of like Jar Couple. Like giving someone a Jar Couple. It's not like you pick something against it because you don't counter the Earth Spirit. You just deal with the Earth. Like you just got to verse it.
the huge problem here is that Zeus and Nature's Prophet, they're gonna have trouble in lane. Earth Spirit's gonna roll on you, and then you're gonna die.
Mostly it's Zeus, I think, because early level, if you can actually successfully obtain your teleportation, you get level 2 on Prophet, then you should be fine against a level 1 gang from Earth Spirit most of the time. But Zeus, on the other hand,
Just dies.
Yeah, would be the one that is under the most pressure. Because you roll in, we haven't seen their mid hero, right? But Zeus is easy to kill, so any mid hero plus a roll from Earth Spirit is a dead Zeus.
I could see them picking like a support to kind of camp there, sit behind him. But
I like Queen though. If they want to do that, like Queen plus Earth Spirit can actually.
Well, even Queen, once Earth Spirit gets level 2, then you get silence and you get slow and.
But I mean, against the Zeus, like Queen plus Earth Spirit. You would force the Zeus not to come anywhere close to the lane.
I mean, Queen even without help can wreck a Zeus. It's a pretty hard matchup in general. Some of these bans are really interesting. I love how EG show respect to the Brood, despite Vega already picking up Nature's Prophet, just showing they don't want to get cheesed in this game.
Those are the things that we mentioned, like Brood, Chen, like she win Vega the game.
Yeah, and Vega, even though Pasha, it's normally the mag Nature's Prophet, like if they think they can cheese a game with a Brood pick, they'll gladly do it.
Yeah.
Similarly, Enigma banned up by Vega despite the Earth Spirit being picked up.
You cheese the game with the Ursa, you know? Like they're on Dire, and then Ursa is pretty good versus Lone Druid.
Bane is a hero that can sit mid, by the way.
Yep, to cover the Zeus.
In regards to that.
Yeah. That's something that would obviously help the Zeus a lot. It somewhat negates the pressure that Earth Spirit is going to do in the early game against the Zeus. So it's quite a good pick here. they want to solidify the lanes instead of like what happened the last time, like where their lanes got pressured so much. This time they have Bane to stabilize the lanes.
10
He's gonna have a
seconds
tough
remaining.
time ever getting off a good grip in a fight, though. There's
Yeah, but the pick here, right? It doesn't.
Yeah, no, I get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, in the fights, he's gonna have his work cut out for him.
I guess, but
Reserve time.
he's
Yeah, it's pick
if
more
he,
for the
If he
laning,
wins the lane, then I guess his job is pretty much done here
Right.
for them.
No, I see you, Winter. Alright, what's next for EG?
I think there was one game they ran Lone Druid mid, if I recall correctly.
Mostly for
It
laning,
was
right?
against Death Prophet, right?
Yeah.
They ran like there was one game they ran Lone Druid mid.
Vega Squadron.
Witch Doctor. We're seeing a lot of Witch Doctor against Chen and also a few games against the Nature's Prophet. The cask helping out
It's
against.
one of the better supports against the Prophet off lane because you can cast the
Ooh.
creeps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just push. They're gonna push really hard here.
EG have to start thinking counter push now, and they've already got their
team
2
fight.
supports.
It's either you go counter push or you go
Yep.
team fight.
Well, they
'cause
haven't got any team fight yet.
Earth Spirit, Magnetize plus
Yeah.
Deathfort.
A Darkseer comes to mind, I guess, like a Universe Darkseer. Put Iron Shell and Spirit Bear,
Yeah.
also pretty strong.
Get yourself that mechanism out fast
No,
as well.
you can't Iron Shell the
Oh,
Spirit
you
Bear.
can't Iron Shell
No,
the
you
Spirit
can't.
Bear.
It's-
Oh, that's sad. Why not?
Well, you could Iron Shell the Earth Spirit and he rolls in. That's
Yeah.
that's definitely very strong.
10 seconds
it?
remaining.
Iron Shell yourself and you just jump in.
No,
You
I'm
just
not.
Go.
Like Iron Shell on Earth
5
Spirit reminds me of
seconds
Iron Shell on Spirit Breaker, like that level 1, level 2. You
Oh
just-
yeah, very early on.
Yeah, you get a lot of
But right
lanes.
now,
Reserve
you have to pressure the Lycans lane. So offlaners that's good against Lycans, Tide or Darkseer. These are the two offlaners that are gonna be
Yeah.
able to pressure the Lycan if the Lycan is safe lane. So
If they want to go team fight, it's like Darkseer and then
Oh,
last
Tide.
pick so it's team fight oriented.
I actually like Tide a bit more because Darkseer you want to have something like you vacuum and you want to have something to follow up. So far
Okay.
it's not. I mean, Earth Spirit
Vacuum
stunning.
kick,
Okay,
vacuum magnetize,
vacuum kick. Okay.
Their fifth pick's the combo here for the Darkseer.
vacuum.
Darkseer Sven.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. Team
Which one
fight,
would
so-
you have to pick up first if you go for that combination?
Probably
Because
the Darkseer.
Probably the Darkseer.
The Darkseer is more important in this combo.
Oh,
No,
it's the same.
it's still purple.
It's the
but
same. No, it's the same idea. You want team fight against a team that is gonna push.
Doesn't really shut down Lycan in the lane though.
No, but you can do well in the lane.
Would they even safely in the void here and try and pressure?
Nah,
the
I think
Lycan
Void
with
probably
other heroes?
against Bane. You want to be offlane because Bane can't really do much against you.
10
Okay,
seconds
I do like
remaining.
Vega's draft in the sense that in the mid game they have a lot of path to take. Like they could group up and push, they could split push with Lycan and Prophet. They could catch very well. So
That's the Void though. It won't be so easy split pushing.
that is true. That is true. They also have the Roshan with the wolves.
And their late game's still solid. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like look at
Okay,
these picks
so-
right now and think EG's got a better late game.
The
by
Queen is taken out. That's good. That's I
Protecting
think
the Zeus,
one of
yeah.
the better bans they have, and it's Chrono. Because
5
right now they
seconds
Chrono, they need
remaining.
damage, like instant damage. Witch Doctor and Earth Spirit are not exactly instant damage, like damage all the time.
Reserve time.
I wonder what the Sumail last pick will be.
anything come to mind?
With works with Chronosphere.
Shackle shot, stun them more.
I mean, it's okay. As long as you're hitting from outside of the Chrono,
Yeah.
you're dishing out damage. It's okay.
Bring back like the Sumail Tinker.
Oh,
Tinker's good versus 5, man.
yeah.
Yeah. It's nice with the Void because Void finds a Chrono, you just TP in and throw down your spells, but it's just such an out of meta hero. It just comes to mind. I'm thinking like, oh, EG last break for Major, they just pulled out that one Tinker game.
I think you just want to pick a hero that can combine well with the Earth Spirit to kill the Zeus. That is most important thing right now, because they can pressure the lane if they do that.
So similar heroes to Queen would be like a Lina or
5
something
seconds
could come
Yeah,
to mind.
Lina is okay too. Lina, Windrunner.
Vega Squadron.
So Vega needs to pick up a secondary support. Does this team run Furion support on jungle, Nature's Prophet?
Not really.
Not really,
I've
right?
seen.
Yeah, so it's definitely a support for the last pick,
Yeah.
unless they run Zeus support. But Zeus support would be kind of weak.
They're definitely running Zeus mid. It's
Do
like
they
no one's
have
go-to. And
Enough stuns to get away with a silencer support.
Dangerous. But Silencer's good versus their hero.
It is so good against
Yeah.
all of these heroes.
But it's a
Apart
bit
from the
it's a bit
Baron, yeah.
dangerous, but I could see the idea
5
working against
seconds
what EG
remaining.
have.
Well, again, Vega this is like the second game in a row we see them with tons of reserve
Reserve
time left at the
time.
end. They've kind of at least had these drafts mostly planned out from the start.
Yeah, but I definitely do agree. It's either they go for more team fight or they go for hero with disable to deal with EG's lineup. Because they so far only it's like the same issue as the last game.
And
They
not
only-
just disable, but catch as well.
Yeah,
Like
they only
Bane
have
is not
one
like a
stun.
good initiator right now. You can't just run in and expect to grip someone particularly.
How about Rubik? Is that a weak Rubik game?
Not much spells to steal.
Chrono?
Also,
Chrono.
I think they want something that can contest the lanes
You
better
can't
too.
really steal Chrono easily nowadays, do you? You realize because you jump
Yeah,
in,
that
you
dilate,
Chrono
yeah.
and you dilate, and then you get dilation.
Yeah.
That's true.
I just feel Vega after last game will think like that Bat Rider got so much out of the offlane. Let's pick a strong laning support, and I don't think that's where Rubik really shines. Like the Disruptor, maybe perhaps a better option. The Shadow Shaman, if they want something with pushing, we talked
Yeah,
about
they
these
need
heroes
strong
before.
lanes. Strong lanes with Disable, Shadow Shaman, Disruptor again. What else are there for them? Like those are the two heroes that always comes to our
Yeah,
mind when
I
we
mean,
look at Vega.
Tusk, I guess, would have been okay as well,
But
which is
it's
banned
banned.
out. Yeah.
I think laning against Faceless Void, again, Silencer is not bad. Just glaive harass him non-stop.
Yeah, it's strong lane.
Oh yeah,
defense,
the Silencer is good versus Void in the
Yeah.
lane. It's just that you lack catch
Yeah.
after that. You only have Bane.
I mean, the problem last game was Faceless Void or this, the bad offlane has so much farm, right? So you probably don't kill him, but you just zone him away. Don't let him get too much EXP.
There's a
They go
Shaman.
Shaman, okay.
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
So they have a very scary push. They have Disable. Their laning phase is somewhat okay, better than last game. So I think their plan this game is much better.
They still lack catch. Like they have to play
I mean,
reactive.
if Shaman has Dagger,
Well,
that's
if
your catch.
Lion had dagger last game, right? Like, but you don't get it
He has
till
to first get that.
yeah.
Yeah, but Shaman is more likely to go through the early game easier because you're better in the lane. So I think it's higher chance that the Shaman will get the dagger this game.
Well, I think Shaman will get the dagger faster also because Lycan and his team will
Yeah,
take more objectives.
Roshan, yeah, that's true too. So EG is gonna run out the draft with a Sumir hero.
Bat Rider again? Is that possible?
Reserve time.
They need damage though, Rider, but like Void, when you have Void, you want multiple initiators.
Brewmaster.
That's the multiple initiators. You can toss.
Yeah, that's quite good against
that's
this
actually quite
lineup.
good.
And you just initiate into the push and just throw your ultimate. As long as you get your ultimate off, you can get a lot of damage done and do pretty well there.
Yep.
So
Okay, Lumi. What do they need to do? Anything in particular? Because that last pick kinda counters Vega, but
Yeah, Vega needs to control the mid-game timing, try to get a lot of things done for the blink, and after the blink, either split push or get the big objective like Roche and T2 tower, T3 towers.
well, let's see if Vega can force out that third game. It is our time for our second game between EG and Vega.
Alright, you can see us. It's me, it's OD Pixel, I'm here with Scan, and we're getting ready to get ourselves into Game 2 of EG versus Vega. What a Game 1, the draft. Was it what you expected, or are you seeing stuff that's even surprising you?
I actually think Vega's draft in Game 2 is something they're more comfortable with. It's just that they ran a very similar draft in their first game of the tournament against Wings, and they got decimated. And I think they were a bit nervous to go for this draft again, but now they're back onto it.
Yeah.
But I want to ask the question, why are we not on the mainstream? Because between the break, OD Pixel was just sitting here, signature. He must have signed 100 fan autographs, and the Russian cast, the Chinese cast, is no one's interested in
Maybe
it.
they mistook me for some Russian lad. I mean, they're probably looking at it. Why is this Mr. Vlad signing his OD Pixel? I don't know. But it was crazy. There's a crazy crowd. You guys have seen it at home. So many people there. You can hear them as well. And they're very much ready for this next game. Obviously, a fair few Vega fans in the crowd, as imagined.
Not as many as there are OD Pixel fans,
Well,
apparently.
yeah,
but-
I should be playing, you know what I mean? It should be EG versus OD.
But luckily for us, while OD Pixel was signing autographs, I was listening to the panel discussion. I got some of the keen insights there from the panel, and
Insights from the panel.
yeah, there
At
were a few
Starladder.
actually. There were. I think it was said
All we
that
get is Mingli Mingli.
the
And I
Brewmaster was
watched.
the last pick for EG, and I think the panel was saying that that's just really good against Vega's lineup. But yeah, basically, so this is something that Vega have developed over time, and I think it's actually very good. They have a push strategy, but it's got a built-in plan for if the enemy team tries to split push against them. They've got the Zeus ulti and the Nature's Prophet ulti, which do global damage, and then one hero has to catch someone out. So if you try split push, Bane or Shadow Shaman catches you, and suddenly Zeus and Nature's Prophet ulti and you die. Which means that the regular option of split pushing against push isn't there for you anymore, and you maybe have to take on the push more directly, which is I think what EG will have to do. Then again, like I said, the first game of the tournament for Vega, they did the same thing against Wings, and Wings just put them on and like Wings just absolutely obliterated them in the lane stage, which is actually what EG did to them last game too.
Absolutely, and this game, it means a lot for Vega. Obviously, this tournament format, it is single elimination. You lose this, you're going home. And Vega, obviously the last CIS team, still in the running. They're going to have to get the crowd behind them here if they want to try and take down EG. As we've seen, you know, EG in that last game, they had, I believe, was it a few games in the group stages where EG did look a bit rocky, but today, EG are looking to be right on.
Yeah, EG are very much a best of 3 team. I think we can't say that much about the best of ones. They had definitely in those best of ones they looked rocky, but of Vega's side, I feel like they picked Bane Bane Elemental this game because they're like, there's too many games in this tournament where we just get destroyed in the lane stage, and Bane is like such a strong lane supporter. And for their sake, I hope that they don't get destroyed in the lane stage again, because we want to see an actual contest. We want to see Vega getting to execute their own plan to some extent, and it's going to depend a lot on first getting out of the lane stage and doing okay.
And obviously the fact that they've got these heroes again, the fact that we're seeing Universe Void. I mean, do you think there might be a point in this tournament, say it again, this game goes as well as the last game does, that we may even see teams just banning out the Void against EG? Well, I mean, were you that impressed by game one?
We may. I mean, I think the Void was instrumental to the game one victory. I think the Void is actually maybe not as good a fit in this game. It doesn't combine very naturally with the Brewmaster or the Lone Druid. So in the previous game, it was combining with the OD for the damage. In this game, you've got Earth Spirit that can deal damage into the Chronosphere, and you've got Witch Doctor, but it's the supports. And I think that's a big difference, because that means that if the supports, who are usually squishier and easier to neutralize, get taken out, Chronosphere is not actually going to do that much in this game. The Lone Druid and Brewmaster really do nothing during Chronosphere.
Oh, it's a mid lane matchup at the moment, 9 for 2, 9 for 0. I guess we can kind of imagine this to be a bit of a wash. The fact that Zeus is always going to get the farm. He doesn't really care at all about the Drunken Haze in lane. He's going to just have the Arc Lightning spam. So it'll be interesting to see how that scales up. At the moment, obviously, Sumail is keeping just on par with the farm of the Zeus, and just a little bit ahead. Top lane Universe playing as carefully as ever on his Void. And I think that's one of the things that's kind of great to watch Universe as a solo laner. He's one of those, he doesn't take a lot of risks early on. He does just play very, very safely, but he still gets the farm.
It's going to be quite a big change from the last game where they ran the Void in the safe lane, and Sumail was on the bat in the off lane, and he's the one that's hungry for kills. Universe, I mean, it's not the kind of player he is, but also I feel like Void in that lane is just not going to be able to get much. So it'll be a good thing if he gets some experience and doesn't die, and so far so good for him on that basis.
And you'll see mid lane, yeah, Spirit hanging around at the same time. Mr. Slayer on his Bane is there to back up the Zeus if the jump is made by Fear. And it'll just be simply going down, just maintaining control here as they give a little bit of XP to Fear as Sumail takes the Wander away from the lane.
And we have seen some Arteezy Lone Druid in this tournament already. I actually think that he's lost a couple of times with it. He might have had one win with it too. He was definitely playing Lone Druid in the game where they lost against Alliance. So, I mean, it's definitely a hero that he's comfortable playing. He's played a lot. I think that they definitely won once with it. They definitely lost once with it. I'm not sure about if they played it any more times than that.
We'll indeed see how Arteezy does. Obviously had quite the performance in game one on his Outworld Devourer. And we'll see if he can step it up the same in this one with the Lone Druid.
He's going to be helped a lot less this game. I mean, it's difficult to say. Like, the first game, it ultimately feels like a 4 Protect 1 to me, where Arteezy didn't even have to buy 4 stuff because his whole team is there to, like, disable people for him. In this game, yes, he's still the main carry and he's the main damage output, but the heroes, the way that they help him is less direct.
Could be in trouble here. We'll see Fear roll in, get the slow, blocks him off, kicks him back, and that's going to allow the rest of EG to close in. The Lone Druid bears there as well. Mag looking to be in trouble, and First Blood should go, and it will do to the side of EG. Arteezy claiming it there. Some really nice play from Fear there on the Earth Spirit, just showing you how much control he can have against another hero in that 1v1 situation.
Sorry, I was actually looking at the Russian stream, and I told you get points there because they missed that kill.
Okay, yeah, Pimp wins it. Russian Ops not up to the standard of us English ones, so good job, Pimp, keeping yourself ahead of the game. But yeah, I mean, getting that first blood here for Arteezy, CS-wise, he's, you know, pretty much neck and neck with last hits, at least as the Lycan getting a few more denies, and Universe backing up. He's dealing with the camp on the side, just trying to find as much as he can without putting himself at too much risk. And we are getting to that point where, of course, both mids are going to hit that level 6, and that's, of course, when killing potential comes online for both, in different, different manners. Sumail, maybe for getting a kill onto the Zeus if he gets to +1 from Fear or such, but obviously Zeus, looking around the map with that Nature's Prophet teleportation, there's going to be the ability for him to maybe find those pickoffs globally.
I actually think Vega looking pretty good here. I mean, sure, they give up the first blood, but the other game where they did the Zeus and Nature's Prophet against Wings, they were like, before they even got their ultis online, they were feeding. All of their heroes were dying a lot, and here we've got Zeus level 6 already. Nature's Prophet not quite there, but we'll definitely see, I think, that once Nature's Prophet is 6, they'll combine the 2 ultis and make some cheap kills.
Sumail, just finding that goal towards the inevitable blink. He's pretty much halfway there. Still, the Zeus not giving him too many issues. He's still on level for CS. Fear's just sitting there, waiting to see if Vega do overextend at all. PPD, up and around on the side. Nothing's going to be found out here at the moment, and PPG just looking to secure bottom room probably at this point. They're going to head away. There's a haste room bottom.
I think EG are okay with this a slow early game with low kills, but I think that Vega are maybe even all more okay with it, because the way that they push and their global has been shut down so many times is with the lane stage destroying them. So both teams are happy, but I feel like Vega should be a bit happier, actually, despite the fact that EG look like they're slightly ahead maybe on farm.
Yeah, and Vega as well, in terms of the farm there, being as efficient as possible. You've got Lycan in the jungle, and this is giving the lane to the two supports, Solo and Sioma going to be able to start finding stuff here. Sumail has got a haste, he's moving in for the clap. He's looking for the primal split, in fact he's going to hold off on it. Solo TP's in on the Shaman. Sumail not wanting to go too YOLO, then will hold on to the ultimate.
The very important bolt actually. If he had got the stomp off, I'm pretty sure Sumail's definitely going to ulti then, but the bolt just with the mini stun and probably saves his life.
Tournament support's getting space. PPD hanging around his R2, did just head over to clean up the camp. He'll come back in. PPD says that is my CS, and of course Arteezy now has got that Midas online.
I think Nature's Prophet is close to level 6, is he? Yeah, we're getting there, and I don't know if EG are going to be ready because I'm not even waiting.
Top lane getting Hex, in comes Mag with the teleport, House pops, and in runs the big bad wolf. Vega taking down Universe on the top lane.
They actually go for it with the level 5 Nature's Prophet because they had enough disabled to take it out, and that means that the Nature's Prophet ulti will still be usable afterwards to push out the lanes, or maybe just wait for the next Zeus ulti and get another kill.
Arteezy with the bear will find themselves the tier 1 bottom. Top lane though, Vega are going to just look for the trade. They've got the push coming in. Only Fear on his Earth Spirit hanging around here, so isn't going to be able to do anything to stop them. And Vega will find this tier 1 here.
And this is something that I think that the more experienced teams like EG and Secret have been very good at doing in the meta of this tournament. When a team's pushing against them, immediately from the beginning of the game, they're taking trades, they're pushing other lanes. And sure, Vega's lineup is quite good later on if you try split push as one hero while they're pushing your lanes. But this early in the game, Vega can't punish you. So they get the tower, you get the tower, and it's not really an advantage.
Oh, no, it's easy. There's a lot of TPs coming through, and he says, well, you can TP, I can TP. TP's out straight from underneath the noses.
So is Sumail going to have an even faster dag than he had last game? I mean, it makes sense, right? Because he's in an easier lane. He got a lot of last hits here. The last game he had to get the first blood, he was actually in the off lane, but it looks like he's going to have a ridiculously fast blink dagger, and that's actually where EG's game kind of started snowballing out of control last game.
Yeah, this Sumail blink, as you said, straight up repeat on last game at the speed he's getting it.
I mean, I think it's much more difficult this time. I don't think it's like any kind of guarantee that now he has Blink Dagger, they're just going to... Like, the draft doesn't say to me that they automatically start winning. In fact, they could walk into trouble themselves if Vega are ready for the Blink. But there's that potential then, because we know what kind of player Sumail is. He's not a player who buys Blink and goes back to farm. He's going to go to the base, he's going to get his mana, or maybe he won't even go to the base, I don't know. Yeah, he's going to the base, he's getting his mana, and he's going to go Blink on someone.
Arteezy, of course, with the talents as well. He is stepping at the farm. And Universe, it'll be interesting to see if he does go for a similar item build this game. Do you think he'll pretty much just keep it the same this game on any reason to adapt it against this?
No. It'll be the standard build. Solo, that's a very early smoke for Vega Squadron, and Solo are kind of baiting here because Arteezy's been going deep to harass the Shadow Shaman.
They did have that ward that I didn't catch if EG may have scouted that smoke.
Yeah, they have to have seen it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they saw it. That's exactly why they went back.
Is under attack.
So this is a ward that is like, since this cliff spot got invented in Dota, I feel like this ward has been the most punishing ward in any game. Like, if the ward's up early enough, it spots Ancients, it spots going Sorosh, it spots Smoke Ganks. I think actually EG, was it EG? No, Secret, when they lost to Liquid yesterday, it was a lot because of that ward, showing Secret's movements, so... I think that ward maybe needs a nerf at some point.
Nice under goes Rapid, just scouts out Sumail, was sitting in the trees with that blink. So they'll know what's going up from the side of EG. EG do take the tier 1. But it's going to be a trade again. Vega with Solo dropping down the wards. They'll look to take the tier 1 on the bottom lane. We do have EG moving down there, apart from Arteezy, who is left alone on the mid. And now we might see a fight kick off in the Rainy jungle. Can they catch anyone out? Pasha, the ultimate now to run. Oh, Universe! Oh, a bit of a Lotus Sphere there. Solo will get taken down there as no mercy from PPD dropping the Death Ward. His ult won't miss.
I guess the reason he does it is because the Lycan's in ulti, and so he needs to cast it as soon as possible. He couldn't look first. Like, if you wait at all, he's going to get away with the max move speed. So I think in both games where Universe has had like a complete fail of a chronosphere, I can see the reasoning for why he chronoed the way he did. It's not like, what the hell was the guy doing?
No, he's not just placing them willy-nilly. He did have intentions, but yeah, didn't pay off that time. Even though they did still get, they got the support kill. The Lycan would have been the tasty one, obviously Pasha at the moment.
Both teams pick up a smoke at the same time, and we also see the medallion on the Lycan. So that signals to me that there's gonna be a, yeah, he's going straight into, oh, okay, that's the Spirit actually scouting out the rush, but I think Vega won't rush, and I think EG know it. And there could be a big smoke play from both teams coming up very soon. There's actually a third smoke now on the Witch. I'm pretty sure the Earth Spirit and the Witch Doctor each have a smoke.
Yes, they do indeed. So
Yeah, and the smoke for Vega Squadron's on the courier, I guess.
Let's see what the plan is now. So 12 minutes in, 2 for 1. Game going at a little bit of a slower pace than game 1 did. And this is kind of favouring Artur at the moment. He is top of that net worth. 2.3k towards that Radiance, that Relic.
Yeah, and I definitely think Vega Squadron would have wanted to be in a position where they're pushing and not being pushed. Mag comes around, but not going to make anything of it. I think as far as Vega are concerned, EG are still doing really well. As far as EG are concerned, EG are doing really well. Things can change if Vega get a cheap rush and snowball into a bunch of towers.
You've got a movement here from EG. They're going straight into the jungle looking for a catch. They might find Solo, and Solo, oh, he does get the Hex off. Very quick reactions there from Solo, but the cask is out, bouncing between him and the neutrals. He'll get taken down. PPD there with the kill. And a third kill here for the side of EG.
I think Vega Squadron probably thought that EG are smoking behind RTZ rather than into their jungle, and just don't expect to get caught out there, but he's kind of pick-offs they can't really afford to have right now because...
Oh, and straight in Slayer gets off the Fiend's grip, looking to burst down Samel. They've got the control, they'll take him down, and now the Wolf, she's just gonna send the little ones after PPD. He doesn't want to waste his time for it. In fact, he comes back round. Pasha playing with his food before he eats it. Double kill for the Lycan.
And that is Vega teaching EG a lesson about their draft, because the reason that Solo gets caught is because he assumes EG is going to be grouped up. And when EG, what we see, when they split up, you're going to be caught by Bane Elemental or caught by Shadow Shaman. Zeus is going to ulti, Nature's Prophet is going to ulti, and Lycan's going to 5-2-2 at you. So EG now, I think, after that, will realize that splitting up on the map is very dangerous this game.
Here we have it, into Roast, dropping the wards. They know that it's worth it if they can find it. In the meantime, tier 2 on the top lane is being pushed down by EG. And big TP's coming through, and well, let's see if they try and defend. Bolt drop down onto Universe, he'll get himself back, and Pasha, of course, they did finish off the Roshan. Lycan has now got that Aegis.
And he's on his way to his Necros, and that's usually when we look at a push strat based around a Lycan, it's pretty much always the Necro 3, which is a signal for, okay, now they're going to go do it. So that'll be the timer here, I think. When they get to the Necro 3, they're going to go push lanes. If EG try to split, as I said, there'll be pickoffs. So the hope for Vega anyway is that they get the Necro 3, they push, and they say to EG, come, take a fight now. It's now or never.
PPD has, of course, level 7 now. In terms of the items, though, he's still running a little bit low on gold, picking up the consumables for the side. Lads, being worked on here by the Void. I believe he is still the mask short. Yeah, it's still just the Morbid mask short.
I actually think, yeah, especially after that trade in the mid lane. I think similar to how I said last game, quite early on, EG's plan's progressing a bit better. It's not as extreme, but Vega are maybe getting a slight lead. The big thing for EG is that they keep getting these trades, they keep getting these towers.
RTZ being scattered out here by the Thunder God's Wrath. Vega going to start to move, and he's going to go for the TP out, and he will get it again. The Bear with the Savage Roar, saving his owner. They will punish the beast.
And it brings up a discussion we had last game. Solo then was playing line, and we said the Blink Dagger was really crucial, and I think on a Shadow Shaman it's going to be the same thing this game. He's a player that manages to just get it out of nowhere very often. If he has a Blink there, RTZ dies, he can't do that. And the entire system I'm talking about, where people can't split push against you because you catch them and you have global, depends on the Bane or the Shadow Shaman being able to get close.
Vega. In terms of their progression, it's yeah, as you said, the fact that they've got the Necro and the Lycan.
Vega Squadron have 2 medallions. They,
Not something that we see every day.
yeah, I mean, I noticed when the Lycan got it, I didn't notice the Bane got it, and I guess you can make one of them into a Solar Crest and then still get like added value, but that might be a small miscommunication there.
Radiant structures.
There we go, Wars drop down off the mid, the cast will be thrown out, catching Pasha a few times, you got Fear positioning himself, maybe seeing if there is going to be an opening for him to roll forward, gets the stun out, onto 3, the silence coming through will only clip onto Bane, but the magnetize is big, the Chrono Spear trapping them in place, Solo and Slayer caught out, no one forcing himself away, he will escape, but Solo will be left behind, he's going to go down, and now with the Primal Split, chasing down for more EG, looking for the Bane kill, they should get it, they corner him, they trap him up, double kill for RTZ. And now the Lycan, can they catch the wolf? The ults run out. Pasha, he can try and run, he can't hide. There's a Thundergod's Wrath. Universe, time walking it back off the initial nuke. And now Samel trapped in the trees. They're still trying to fight here. The silence will clip the Zeus, and that is the big silence. Universe has to get himself away, jumping down to the low ground. So they do save Pasha here, Vega. The Lycan proving to be a little bit too difficult for EG to kill after the ult wore off, and now Mag. It's found RTZ. Can they get the cancel? Yes, they can. No one with the lightning bolt, clipping the lone druid, taking him down, and Vega keep it 5-5, even on the board after that fight.
Did RTZ finish his Radiance? He did, right?
I believe he did, yes.
Yeah,
He
okay,
did get
cool.
the recipe.
So he didn't lose that match there, but I think the reason that EG get a good fight in the first place is just Fear. I mean, Earth Spirit got such a good ulti off, and I was saying earlier that the Void is not nearly as convincing to me this game than last game, but if your Earth Spirit or your Witch Doctor get a really nice ulti, suddenly the Void's huge, because...
There's much better combo arguably here.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
terms of damage this time.
So I don't know, is Fear going to be able to get that kind of ulti off every fight? Maybe, actually, maybe. If Vega's plan is to group up and push, that's the thing they have to be worried about.
Yeah, indeed, because you said grouping up and pushing, EG, their lineup, Spirit, Void, Brewmaster, even the Witch Doctor, the strat against them is just Delta split. You've got to split up. They have got the ways to force Vega away from maybe what their initial plan was in terms of going for the objectives.
Yeah, it's very interesting because Vega's draft makes such an effort to say to EG, you can't split up.
Yeah.
Us on in a fight, and then EG actually win the fight when it happens. So I guess Vega will just put it down to like Earth Spirit getting a really good initiation and hope that they play better in the next clash, which is coming up right now by the looks of things.
There you go. The smoke on the edge. They're looking to lead in, gets forced, and will get the Fiend's Grip onto Artur, but it will be cancelled straight away. The silence from Fear as he drops down the rock, pulls it in. He's got to run past it, trying to chase it down. Actually being blocked by his own Necro unit, should still get the kill. Fear rolling out, he makes it away. Fear still alive. The front lightning bolt won't quite clip him. Fear, can he escape though? There's the walls coming in. They found him out. The arc lightning across the tree line will get the kill on the Earth Spirit. Universe jumps in, but no one forces down to the low ground. Now it's Vega being a little bit more careful. The clap coming out from Samel. He'll use the primal split. He'll go for the easy kill on the Bane now. Rushing forward, seeing if he can set up for more. He catches out Mag on the Nature's Prophet. Vega, can they do anything to save the NP? Doesn't look like it. He's trapped up, chased down, the stun's there. Mag getting caught out as well, and EG will find themselves a second one in that trade. 2 for 1. Fear losing his life, but again, setting up some big stuff, saving the initiation from Vega, destroying EG from that Fiend's Grip cancel.
Two things there. The first is that I think that Vega maybe want to use the Zeus ulti before the Fiend's Grip, then they'll see, okay, Fear's there, I can't use the Fiend's Grip. They use it right after the Fiend's Grip, and so it gets cancelled. The other thing though is that I think Sumail had made a brilliant decision to use his ulti, because it really looked like Vega had escaped, and usually you don't see a Brew like blinking in, following the people running away and ulti, but he ulti just to get the Storm Panda so they could chase, get that Yules off, and try and catch this up and get Mag. So I think that's heads up play from Sumail actually, recognizing that it's still worth using his ulti even though he's not jumping into a bunch of heroes.
We do have to, well, after that bit of action, a level 3 Necro on your Lycan. So if they do win a fight, you know, Vega are going to be able to destroy buildings at a pretty impressive rate. I mean, the push power of EG pretty much solely relies on that lone druid doing the damage onto the structures.
Yeah. And I mean, in terms of that push, I do think that it's very clear, ever since that one time we saw EG get punished for being split, they now know. Arteezy's just trolling Mag a bit. Mag was kind of like hoping that the bear leaves and then he can just go back to farming, and Arteezy's like, no. He's trying to make him TP out basically, and they actually get the Shadow Shaman TP's in. They're going to try and kill the Spirit Bear, punish Arteezy for his insolence.
I don't know if they got the damage, and with the mischance as well for the Radiance, it's going to be hard. Yeah, Arteezy walks it off.
And Arteezy wins that round of banter, I think.
Certainly does. Just create a bit of space there, Vega. Having to play with Arteezy's distraction.
Because it's actually really important. Like, as I was saying, EG don't really have a way to split up and push. It's far too dangerous. You can use the Spirit Pair to do it on its own. Split up, push, apply pressure. They... Really, like, since the one fight that went badly, they haven't been split since then. They've been together for the rest of the game. So I think they made a decision saying, we'll just play 5-man Dota.
The smoke up here as they start to move. There was a dire observer ward there. I don't know if it clipped someone maybe in the mid lane just through that little alley on the back of the smoke, because they're playing very safely, Vega, and it looks like they're totally aware what's up. And EG just revealing Lone Druid, starting to push down. The rest of the team just behind him, and yeah, it looks like they won't find any action with the smoke, but it does pressure Vega back and create the space to find a tower.
It's also something that I've seen EG doing a few times, what they like to do against the team that wants to push them. They just suddenly start pushing the pushing team and push them out of their elements altogether, actually. But Mag goes to split push in the bot lane. EG actually do split up a bit, and I don't know if Vega can see them because Arteezy's now currently alone in the Vega jungle. But yeah, they don't know. If they did know, that would be a delicious kill for them moving to a tower.
Doctor ordered.
And I guess the question is, on this Nature's Prophet, he's obviously gone for the mech into the Maelstrom. Is this a point now where you do go, right, I'm still going to get the Aghanims, or do you think we'll see other stuff coming out from Man?
No, I think he will go into the Aghanims. Yeah. I think ideally the plan for their team is that they're starting to go for Raxes at this stage before it even happens, but I think he will go into it. And actually EG are a little bit split now, and there's a risk of Sumail getting caught out here.
He can get the jump in with Bane. Sumail just getting behind the tower. Linking back as well, so some nice awareness from Sumail.
I think Vega just took too long off the map. They smoked from like basically their base all the way to the other side of the map, and eventually EG were going to realize if they had gone into their jungle across the other side, maybe found Arteezy, it could have worked, but they're still going to go for the tower. Don't want to waste the smoke movement completely.
EG Universe, he has got that Chrono. We'll see if he'll use it. The Thunder God's Wrath. So they know that EG are around looking for a fight. They just drop the wards. Trying to force them away with the Savage Roar. Vega still very much happy with going for the push. In fact, the Bear in trouble, and the Bear's down. Bear down, easy 300 gold here for the side of Vega. And they got the tier 2 as well. Now Sumail jumping and getting the clap off. No one forcing himself back with the Hex, and now Sumail. Universe over the Chrono. He'll get it. The death fall from the side. He's got 4 in the Chrono. Pasha melting. Pasha down. That's the Lycan God. The Magnetize to follow from Fizz. Absolutely huge. Solo falling down on the sidelines. Make that a 3rd kill for EG. And now no one caught out, held in place. The Zeus is down.
I mean,
EG there with the jump. The Chrono, the Death Warp, the Magnetizer was all there, and it's just too much for Vega, and that's the exact counter to the push strat that we're talking about that EG have with their draft.
And it must say that Solo played it brilliantly. He caught Sumail. We've seen it time and time again in this series. Like, after the blink, gets the Hex immediately, controls him. But unfortunately, because they were controlling Sumail, Vega get baited, and they all clamp up for that Chronosphere, and Sumail gets his ulti off anyway.
And just look at PPD after that. He's a man that's very close to the Aghanims. 1k gold away and he'll have it. And Aghanim's now done on the brew, so he'll have those extra skills, the spirits. That is in his arsenal, and that's the Russian down. Arteezy claims the Aegis. 11 for 6, and off the back of that, Vega, they've got to think a little bit more carefully about their next proceed. They did get the tower, but there definitely wasn't the plan to pay with that many lives.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly they got baited by themselves. They made a really good play to control the Brewmaster. They thought we can actually burst him down before he does anything. They don't do it, and they banished for the Chronosphere, and it's the worst possible scenario there for Vega.
Pasha is wisely deciding to build the BKB next. Certainly needs it against some of these heroes on the side of EG, but again they have got ways to deal with a BKB carry, a lot of physical DPS.
Let's say either ends up on Gale's Earth Spirits, which is an interesting one. I think it lets him kick further.
And also, what's really nice about it is catching out the Bane, just stopping the Bane from getting his Fiend's Grip.
Yeah.
He's going to have that extra range to get the rock down, get the silence pull in.
And it's just the damage, right? Because we've said time and time again that he's a lot of the damage in his ulti. So
400 gold and PPD's got it. Aghanims. 26 minutes in, and this is PPD as well. This is a man who, historically, he takes the slack. He's not the one holding the gold on the team, but this game, stepping it up a bit, and it's the Bane on the side of Vega that's the poor man at the moment.
I mean, I don't know the stats on this, but I'm pretty sure that EG more or less never lose when PPD gets farmed. Because he's not getting farmed because they decided to give him more space.
Absolutely not.
He's getting farmed because the game is going so well for them.
You can see that pretty much that one fight there, jumping EG into the driver's seat. But it's just 26 minutes in. They could definitely have the potential to swing it around, and we just know how potent their pushing power is. They just need to win one fight, and suddenly Vega can be threatening the high ground of EG.
Yeah, I mean, draft-wise, Vega still have some kind of control of this game. If you notice, EG still clumped up all the time. Like, sure, Fear's split off, but it doesn't matter that much if you commit everything to kill Fear. They're not willing to let Arteezy split push on his own, and that's because of Vega's picks, and it's the one thing going for them. They have a good idea that when you see an EG hero, they're probably all together.
And top lane is cutting off the creeps. And with the push coming in, Fear bringing the creeps around, they'll look for a tier 2. Vega trying to make baby steps outside the base here again on the mid lane. Roshan, of course, still a hefty bit of time until it is going to be back up.
Dire's top tower.
And then the next timing, of course, for Pasha's Lycan is going to be that BKB.
Oh, Arteezy sniping the courier there. Did have 2k net worth on as well. What was it? It says 2k, but
That's got to be that.
yeah, we're not seeing.
Hyperstone.
Oh, there it is. There's the Hyperstone. Oh, sorry, no, it was Arteezy's courier being sniped.
It was his
delivered
Hyperstone,
to-
that makes
sorry,
sense, yeah.
Vega sniped it.
Because the Lycan's not
It was
going
just on
AC,
the way
he's going
out.
BKB.
Yeah, I was very close to Artur as well. Nearly delivered it.
Здесь бы это работало гораздо лучше, потому что он на шару шамане и мог бы еще и даже собирать лора.
Solo is actually going into an axe of his own, which
I mean, it makes sense really with
it's
it.
like the ultimate piece in like the you can't stop us pushing play. It's actually very good for the 5v5 fight as well if you get those wards off and they want to fight. I believe the wards still attack in Chrono, do they?
Or if they get chronoed.
I feel like they used to, and I'm not sure if it's been changed
I
or
think
not. So
Yeah, it did change back in the day. Oh, it's an interaction that we don't really get to see that much.
yeah, I mean
Shaman and
we
Void,
haven't seen a
look at
Void.
6.86. It's
Yep.
We're getting the pleasure of seeing them butt heads.
And more Aghanim Scepter everywhere. Like every hero in this game is eventually gonna get an Aghanim Scepter by the looks of it. I think is Lycan the one hero in this game that doesn't have an Ags upgrade. I mean, even Lone Druid technically has an Ags upgrade these days.
Yeah, and if we go super late, yeah, there might be a point where Artur picks it up, but we're talking extremely late. There's a lot of items that Arteezy would definitely favor over the Ags himself.
Не подходит при мастеру ногам.
Well, looks like Vega Squadron were just not willing to take a fight while the Aegis is up, and EG trying to get as much as they can in the meantime.
Dire's bottom tower.
Talking about Ags, of course, the Nature's Prophet spawn is now finished, so they will be able to kind of have that global pressure.
And that's going to be a signal for EG to push, actually, because they've got the Aegis, and also with the Nature's Prophet Axe, it's been much harder to push. So while they can push, they're going for it.
Vega, they need to formulate some kind of big defense. The Bear getting pulled back out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And yeah, so they get what they want. AG, they're able to get a bit of damage down. Tier 3's gone. Opening up the base slowly but surely. But we are seeing indeed when Arteezy just sends the Lone Druid on the front lines. Vega can burst down and they certainly can kill the Bear. But kind of not before it does a lot of damage to the racks. Or in this case the tower, but next time potentially the racks into these links.
This game's not an interesting spot where I feel like EG are ahead, but I still feel like draft-wise they're in a tough position. We said they can't split up properly. Well, Fear keeps splitting up because he's Fear and he's a support. It doesn't matter if he dies. They can't really split their Lone Druid alone because it's too easy to get picked off. But now that the Nature's Prophet has Ags, the waves are going to be pushing all the time. So Vega actually put EG in a position where they need to split to some extent, but it's actually dangerous every time they do split.
So the wombo combo for EG is going to be absolutely massive with that Axe Switch Doctor. Will be a very tricky position for Vega to find themselves in, and it's obviously something that Vega are aware of. They're not going for these group subs and pushes yet. Maybe if anything, waiting for EG to come to them, waiting so that they can try and catch someone on EG out of position whilst EG try to initiate. Because Vega at the moment know that if they don't initiate onto the right hero, EG are going to be very much ready to just turn around and take them out. And RTZ now, with the AC complete, the pushing power increases.
Yeah, I mean, Vega at the start of the game with the teams that would want to force the 5v5, at this stage they're actually trying to force exactly the opposite. With the Nature's Prophet Axe, they're trying to say, EG, you need to split, you need to push out your lanes, and then they'll take advantage then. And EG's response is just to say stubbornly, nope, we're going to go 5 down that mid lane.
Oh, okay, Universe. Chronoing the Zeus straight up. Does need backup. It comes through with the stun, with the silence. No one forcing himself to the side, trying to escape. As Samael jumps in, Zeus will kill himself. Pasha has to BKB to run away because the roots were coming out from Artur.
There's a split push though, at the other side of the map.
Oh, Solo, yeah. Just with the wards, casually knocking on the tier 3, and he will get it.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Gotta be careful of this Shaman. You've got to be careful to where he gets on the map, and that's the thing. With that Nature's Prophet Axe, you've always got that imminent threat of the racks and the tier 3s being touched upon by creeps. And so Solo's gonna have those openings to just jump in and drop the wards and go.
There's some bears and some wolves hitting each other, but nothing too exciting. And yeah, the exciting thing about this whole Zeus, Nature's Prophet push lineup that Vega like to run is exactly this, that their lineup makes it scary for you to split, and then they force you to split. And if you don't split, you're going to lose sides of your base.
Samael, going on to Slayer. Nightmare himself, Glimmer Cape as well, and just goes to Glimmer TP. The Savage Roar will cancel the TP. I think it shows him far enough to base. They'll try and chase it down with the bear. I'm not going to die at the tower though. He wants to keep his bear alive. We're going to ham here, RTs.
Pasha going to push the bot lane, and this is the flip side. I say that Vega put EG in a position where they're scared to split but need to split. Vega actually feel quite comfortable, so he's happy to go down to that lane on his own and push. And
he does need to be careful though.
Yeah,
EG are on their way down there.
It is possible for him to die.
He's got this ward, and he's TPing straight out.
Or generally speaking, I just mean with the dynamic of the game, EG's movements, despite being ahead on gold, are more restricted than Vega's movements.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Top EG's just doing their best to hold on to the outer towers. Saving themselves from the potential rat that Sola's going to look for on his Shaman.
It's actually very tough to be EG in this position, to maintain composure, to, you know, stay calm in the face of you're ahead of the enemy team, but they're sort of controlling the flow of the game. And I think that's a frustrating dynamic for any team, and it's a test for EG, who have passed this test many times in the past, to see can they just stay calm.
As we can see, and as you can hear, the fans for Vega rooting them on. I mean, a team that's certainly not out of this game at all, because they do have that BAM, the sudden finish potential, which is something that we've seen Vega just use really well in the past.
Yeah, the cheering's getting pretty loud right now. It's definitely Vega cheering, and when you saw EG on the screen there, you could see they don't look that happy. I mean, I think that, you know,
I think that's just EG.
I don't know. I think that EG are aware of the fact that even though they're ahead, game is not just, you know, a walk in the park here. Vega have a tactical control of the map. I think.
Still, it's been a very, very safe and careful game. 11-6, 33 minutes in. Not a huge bloodbath, but as we said from the drafts, I guess that can kind of be expected.
That's the Aghanim Shadow Shaman. What we saw Solo do before, that takes a tower, takes a Raxa as well. So if EG aren't aware of the splits and get caught out, they could really get punished now. At the same time, if they take a fight and Solo's there with his ulti, that's really big in fights too.
EG with the smoke, maybe hoping for the Roshan respawn, but it's a bit of a longer one. We'll be back up for about a minute. So we'll see if EG do indeed hold back and just wait for the Aegis, or if they feel that they should try and go for a bit of action right now. And it looks like, with just a potential 1 minute left, they're not going to go for anything too crazy down the lanes, and it could be just Roshan where we see it kick off next.
I think, it sounds like we can hear the panel now.
I think we can hear something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Russian.
There's something on that maybe isn't meant to be on in our headsets, but
it's the aliens. They've finally reached us. Let's see what side of Vega can do here. They know that Roshan's back up very shortly as well themselves. They've got the Lycan Wall scouting it. It's not quite there, but they really, really want to try and do something around this. Both teams And the Aegis is going to be a big point as well, because whoever gets it is going to have kind of the potential to just go for a high ground push. It's going to be a very, very key thing this game.
I think EG probably have a slightly stronger fights potential in a 5v5 right now. But it's much harder for them to linger at the rush pit because Vega are pushing all the lanes all the time.
Not easy. Forcing Slayer back, and again, this play from EG just keeping control around the pit.
Yeah, the problem is their lanes keep getting pushed in, so EG really needs to kill Rush. Like now is maybe the perfect time for them. If they kill Rush before anyone gets close to their base.
Into the Roshan, Vega. We saw them hanging around it earlier. Are they going to be able to get themselves there in time? And the God's Wrath coming out. They know what's up. They know what's up. Can they do anything here? Well, Chrono! Oh, he actually catches Zeus on the sideline. Universe straight into the high ground. Samel with the BKB, but Slayer is there with the Phoenix Grip. Fear will run into Noah, but Solo pops down the wards, gets the shackle onto Universe. Universe getting taken down there by the burst of the Nature's Wrath. The Primal Split, though, working through Slayer's layer. Bane will fall, Death Ward, pummeling away at the Lycan. He's got to run, he's got the Shapeshift. Will get himself out of there. With Vega at the moment, it's a 1-for-1 trade. Pretty good for the team. The Primal Split going to run out fairly shortly. Can they get themselves anything more? They're looking for Solo. Solo hexes up PPD. Arteezy. Bear versus Wolf action going in the Radiant Jungle. Can they get the kill on Samel? Samel incredibly low. Arteezy will finish off the Lycan. Samel underneath the walls. Lightning bolt to the face though. That's the Brood out. Fear trying to roll. He's trying to get Solo with the mech. Keeping Solo alive. Fear shackled to his death. They get the kills that they needed. Vega
still trying to rush.
Oh, Artur before Solo. Oh, the Radiant Sperm will take it, but this could be the trade. If they can get the Arteezy kill, but I don't think they can. The Bear scaring off Vega. Artur, can he get himself out? No one with the eye in the trap. They've got him. Points himself onto the man, and they get the kill. Zeus with that huge influx of gold after stopping Artur in his tracks. And look how low the Roche is. This is an open Roche for Vega.
Man, Arteezy had to TP there. After Zeus, you could see that no one was actually holding back his bolts. Eventually he bolts, and after the first bolt, I think Arteezy just has to TP out, and because he doesn't, he pays for it, and that's now the Aegis, the cheese to Vega Squadron, and I gotta say, that fight could have been even worse for EG right at the beginning when Samir got caught. He just barely got ulti off before dying. If he didn't get his ulti off, that would have been a complete wash in Vega's favor. And again, this comes from the fact that Vega are pushing the entire map, so when EG get a window to rush, they have to go immediately. They've got less options about how to position themselves, and I actually think that Vega are starting to choke them out in terms of control of the map.
And we saw as well, I think one of the big plays was the fact that Solo got out those walls. We just saw how much the walls did in the middle of the fight, and EG was still kind of content to fight around them. Maybe underestimating a little bit the power again of the Ags, Shaman, Wards. Yeah, and we saw them rip through just multiple heroes on the lineup.
And the Void going in with the Time Walk and the Chrono, or I don't know if he blinked and Chronoed, but
I think he got the blink Chrono.
He went in and Chronoed, but on his own, he didn't have anyone with him. And we've said many times, Void is not like, you're not going to kill the core Zeus on your own. You need one of your teammates to get there, but like I said, EG don't have the luxury of positioning themselves for whatever Vega are going to do. EG kind of forced into certain positions and will probably be for the rest of this game, and they're going to have to make really good value out of the positions they are being forced into.
Vega want to fight now. They're feeling strong, feeling confident with that Aegis and Cheese. They know that they can go for plays like this, heading down towards the bottom. EG are out there. They do have all the ultimates back online for EG. So Mao's going to TP top.
They want Mag. But Mag knows it, and looks like he's pulling back.
Yeah, so, not to find anything here with the smoke. The question is going to be how strong do Vega feel? Are they at a point where they can just try and waltz up to the base? Wards are back off cooldown, so yeah, with the Axe, maybe they will just walk in.
They don't need to commit because the Nature's Prophet's on the other side.
Oh, first hit bash. There's your Chrono onto the Bane, onto the Zeus, but Solo jumps and gets next. But the Death Ward battling away, 2 down. Aegis popped here on the Zeus. Now Solo gets the wards out. Will be kept up to the side, keeping himself alive. Chrono rough for Vega. Vega could try and look for a turnaround. Pash is there on the front lines, but he's been set up, being controlled by Samel there with the Primal Split. That's going to be 3 down on Vega, and EG now fighting back hard. Root onto Mag. Pasha trying for the TP out. Can he get himself away? He will. Mag's not going to be as lucky though. It's 4 down on Vega, and EG with the huge fight again. Great initiation from Universe with the Chrono. Fantastic follow-up from PPD with the Death Ward, hitting onto 3 heroes there with those Death Ward bounces.
But even so, EG did well, but I think the emphasis there is on Solo actually made a mistake. It's the first time in the series I've seen him make a big mistake. He walked into the Chronosphere. He wasn't in it, and he tried to walk forward, dump his wards in, and by mistake walked himself in, and by the time the Chrono ended, he hardly did it. Yeah, the Witch Doctor ulti was owning everyone, and then it started bouncing onto Solo as well, because he just walked into the Chrono.
I mean, it really is the fight of the supports. We saw the damage from PPD and Solo, both at 3k. They're the ones that do the deeps here.
I think if Solo doesn't walk into the Chrono there's a decent chance his team actually takes the fight, even though it doesn't start that well for them, even though there's a good Chrono.
After that, Fears nearly got his axed, so the saving potential from EG is going to be even greater.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Aghanim Sept on Earth Spread. It's very difficult to push against. We've seen that time and time again. I know people were talking about already when the patch came out. You're going to turn someone into a rock, you're going to kick them back into your base first, pull them, then kick them, and it's like pushing against a vengeful spirits. It's just very difficult to do.
And certainly getting a little bit harder for Vega after that fight. We did see Nature's Prophet, I think he was sitting on about 6k gold. I imagine with the axe, what's he just spend it on? Did he just buy a Mystic Staff? What's he go for? Oh, he's going for the MKB here on the Nature's Prophet, the full fighting right click build.
Yeah, it looks like he wasn't sure, and then he decided actually, because I think, didn't he buy that Voidstone first, and then he changed his mind, so...
I think so, yeah. So MKB here for Mag. AC now done on the Lycan, so these guys are certainly going to pack a punch. He's got a way to fight around, obviously, the Arteezy's Radiant's miss chance.
I think it's a really nice pickup actually for Ag, because what Vega have realized is that EG don't have enough to deal with all of them. And so what they want to make sure is that, you know, if you're the hero that's not being dealt with, you need to get a lot done.
And here we go, Fear with that as complete. I don't remember the last time we've seen this, but the team, 4 out of 5 of their players now with Aghanims complete on EG.
I mean, I remember seeing Jerax on Liquid get that Ags, and someone, or they pushed them from the entrance of the base all the way to the fountain with a Venge Swap and the Earth Spirit kick. It was pretty disgusting. It wasn't in this tournament, that was in the qualifiers.
EG, they're going to go for the high ground push. Everything apart from Thundercross Wrath here online, the Nature's Wrath. They're getting a little bit low. And they do a fair bit to this tower.
It's again the situation. It's again the situation where EG just don't have that many windows where they can push, so they get near to the enemy base. The waves are not near their base, and they have to get some damage out, because if they want to win this game, that's what they're going to have to do. Unless Vega Squadron's team is dead, they're not going to have very big windows of time where they're not at threat of the split push.
No, it's easy. On his build now, I mean, with the bash he picked up 3.5k, would you imagine he's just going to finish off the Abyssal next, or is there any reason for him to get anything else?
No, the Abyssal Blade seems very reasonable to me, especially because we've seen Arteezy chasing people around in fights. I mean, there was one fight where he chased the Lycan, even when Lycan was in ulti. He doesn't want to have to be running after this wolf, so I think to lock someone down would be exactly what he's looking for. Oh, and he actually buys a Ghost Scepter, so going defensive first. His next offensive item I think is very likely to be the Abyssal Blade. Decides that it's more important that he himself can't be burst down.
He's going to feel a little bit safer now, of course, against the fact that this Nature's Prophet, with the right-click build that Mag has gone for. And of course those Serpent Wards. Solo.
He's looking for it. He wants to sneak in there. It's one more wave.
This wave's going to put him, should put him over to level 16. So the level 16 Ags wards are now ready.
Yeah, this is the thing. Now, EG can never let that creep wave hit their base. If it gets their base, even if Solo dies, he gets his wards off that's buildings. So every time the creeps get this far, EG needs to come down. And they can't really come down on their own, because what if there's more Vega heroes? So this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. So if the wave pushes to a certain point, EG just have to go back every time.
Yeah, it's, as you said, going to be hard for EG to get that finishing blow, finishing push with that, the constant global threat of Vega, as we've seen. Thundercross Wrath being thrown out pretty much every time it's available, just so Vega have the intel on the whereabouts and the plan of EG. Even the Hood being picked up by Lone Druid, so I saw him with the Ghost Scepter now with the Hood just playing super defensive in terms of getting ready to push against the burst of the Zeus and even the damage of the Nature's Wrath. So it's a little bit easier for EG to try and high ground.
EG have found themselves a window again. I mean, honestly, EG, this is the best I've ever seen a team do against Nature's Prophet Aghanims, to keep finding times where you can push and they're not at your base.
There we go. The bear goes in, munches away the range racks. Look at this damage. Will not be able to get the melee though. I'll save the bear.
I honestly think with the Nature's Prophet Aghanims, it's so easy for Vega to keep the lanes pushing that when this happens, when EG gets the base with their lanes not pushing, it's kind of like an outplay. It's EG have like outmaneuvered Vega each time they manage to get to this position, but they keep doing it over and over.
There we are, back onto the melee racks. What are you going to do there? Have to pop the fortification.
He ports a Hood on his Spirit Bear. Is that what our TZ ports?
Let's go back in. Oh, Lycan, he's been turned into a statue. Look him into mid-ball. Oh, look at him go, Jesus! BKB out, he gets Chronosphered here. There's your real look at it go. Deathport's been laid down. Pasha taking the full brunt of this ultimate from PPD, and he will go down. Lycan down for 70 seconds. So gets the wards out. The bear munching away at the Shaman, though. That's going to be a second kill here for the side of EG. The Primal Split working onto Slayer. That's going to be a double kill for Artur. Mag stuck here, bashed up. The slows out. There'll be a buyback from Solo. But he's already used the wards, but that buyback will be enough to force EG back. But EG very, very happy with that poke at the side of Vega and finding 3 kills and a buyback out of it.
And EG is especially happy again that they managed to push, they managed to get a Rax, and they didn't lose anything on any side of the map, which has been like the dynamic that's been crippling them all game.
Alright, Ghost Scepter. Is he going to save you against the Zeus? PPD is going to be left behind.
It does include a gem actually, so I would have said if there wasn't a gem involved, that's a very irrelevant kill, but the gem, it actually matters. And Universe has picked up the Maelstrom and Void, so going into a little bit of damage this time around.
I guess one of the same great, the fact that they did hold on to the melee racks, Fake. They've still got the melee racks in the bottom lane. So
I mean, it seems like they're actually feeling that. Oh,
PPD.
What's that buyback
The
for?
spontaneous buyback. Why not? Why not? Maybe Envy dropped their heads down his
Did they just want to push while Shadow Shaman doesn't have ulti? Is that the plan?
What's he doing in there?
I think that's the plan. Shadow Shaman ulti is a lot of the damage on Vegas, or Rush. Either way. They could get something done in this window. The lanes are kind of pushing. Shadow Shaman can't ulti, and I've said over and over, it's difficult for them to get these windows in this game, so actually a very good buyback.
Go straight in, as you said. And Vega gonna be able to do anything about it. No, EG actually want to go for the kills. In fact, they might find Solo jumping straight in. Solo! Fast reactions. The chicken getting nightmared as well, and now Solo does get caught up by RTZ. They'll take down the Shaman, and now they're moving on to the Banes. 2 down. Neither with buyback available. Pasha running away with a shapeshift. Will get the blue one down soon. Won't be able to control in fear. Oh, he's made himself another statue. No one. Oh, the TP cancelled straight away by the Chrono. EG moving in on full force onto the Zeus. He's tanky, not tanky enough. Will buy back straight away though. Mag and Pasha trying to force something on the top lane, but EG, they're trying to force something into the base. It's RTZ straight onto the tier 3. Tier 3 down. Now focusing onto the racks. Universe jumping forward with the time dilation. Mag pops the BKB, hits onto the bear, but they've managed to clean out the top set of racks. Pasha still drastically trying to push this top lane, but RTZ, he's looking for the objectives. He's onto the bottom set as well. The only single racks left standing, and it's now gone. It has now got mega creeps for the side of EG. They'll jump in onto Mag. He buys back. Zeus now in trouble. The Octarine keeping him alive, but the root is there. Universe with the right clicks, with the Maelstrom. The Deathfall getting dropped. The cast bounces as well between the two. Double kill for PPD. GG is called, and EG are your victors.
Can we just see how rich PPD is? Can we just see the net worth quickly? Because yeah,
he's a rich man.
PPD got so much done in that game, but I gotta say, in contrast to the previous game, I think the previous game EG won primarily because of the draft. I know Winston didn't agree with me, that's fine, we can talk about it later. But in this game, it's an outplay. I think Vega had the better of the draft by far, especially the way the early game went. But maybe there's a mistake by Mag, holding onto his Nature's Prophet ulti too many times. He wants to keep it for the fights, but then the lanes aren't pushing. But for EG to win from the position they got into, I know they had a gold lead,